Ba, 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 ba. Why, hello. Good morning. I realized my hands are so ashy. Just now, I love that right now, I just noticed my hands are so ashy and dry. Because I just got back from shoveling my driveway. And of course, the one thing I didn't think to put in here was my hand lotion. So I shall simply suffer. But that is irrelevant to what's currently happening. Well, I guess it isn't because this whole stream is my hands, but please be nice to me and do not point out how ashy my hands are. Because we have another thing to think about, and that is the new kit that I'm starting today. I am starting our good friend Master Grade Barbatos, which is like, I'm not gonna lie, a kit that I've been wanting for a while, but because it is quite popular, I just like have not been able to get my hands on it. It's just like the timing never lined up, or like when I wanted it, or like when I could get it, it was like out of stock, or it was like hard for us to get through the store. But finally, after a while, I've been able to get him. MG Barbatos, which I also think is a bit appropriate for this being, I guess, the unofficial Brunch and Build Christmas episode. I don't particularly celebrate Christmas. I mean, I kind of do at this point, but I celebrate Christmas in the commercial sense. You know, I was raised Muslim. I never really like celebrating Christmas, but these days we do, just because it's like a fun little excuse to get together and decorate stuff. So I guess this is the unofficial Brunch and Build Christmas episode, which is pretty sick. The other neat thing, let me double check the calendar before I just start telling lies on Maine. What the calendar is like. Yeah, excellent. Neither Christmas or New Year's lines up on a weekend, so fortunately, it looks like my stream schedule will be largely uninterrupted. There is a chance I might take a weekend off sometime towards the beginning of January, just to take a little trip. But for the most part, the holidays will largely not affect Brunch and Build, which is neat. But yeah, today is, I guess, the unofficial Christmas episode. I didn't really think about it besides right now, so I have not really prepared anything Christmassy besides the fact that we are building a kit that I've been wanting for a while, so it is like a Christmas gift to myself. And also, I have hot chocolate. With my Target strawberry mug that I love quite dearly. Well, I'm not gonna lie, my hot chocolate is now more so lukewarm chocolate, but we make do. It is basically just chocolate milk now, which I truly cannot complain about. But that is the life we're living. Anyhow, we're starting MG Barbatos. Pretty neat. When it comes to like Christmas and all that, where's the instructions? Okay, there it is. It was just like kind of buried under there. I was really worried for a second that for whatever reason this guy just didn't have the instruction book, and I would have been like, well, that's kind of rough for me. Luckily, it does have it. Merry Christmas. Merry Crimsons. Beautiful. Excellent. As always, I start by opening up the runners because I haven't opened up the runners yet. So that we shall do. But yeah, when it comes to Christmas stuff, I also need to get a new cutting mat. That's also something that I forgot to do. I don't have like a real cutting mat. I kind of did before, but now I kind of don't. So that is a useful thing for me to obtain at some point. I'm trying so hard to minimize all the plastic crinkling, but unfortunately there will be some plastic crinkling ASMR. Barbados bits. Some more assorted Barbados bits. I've built high grade Barbados. I've built and then kit bashed high grade Barbados. And obviously I have seen Iron-Blooded Orphan, so I know what Barbados looks like. I've also actually obtained the Barbatos from Gundam Build Divers, which is the 4-legged Barbados, which was about as insane of a build as you'd think it would be with the description 4-legged Barbados, but I do also have that one. It was a pain, but it looked so cool that truly all is forgiven. That thing is so sick. But I am already looking at some of these like extra little flare runners, which is nice. But yeah, when it comes to Christmas, I didn't really celebrate Christmas growing up because I was raised Muslim. I still am Muslim, but like I was raised Muslim, so like we've got our holiday. It just doesn't always fall in the Christmas time. Eid, fun fact, is on a lunar calendar, so it shifts like 2 weeks every year, and it's kind of just like in a loop, you know. Right now it's been in the summer, but it used to be in the spring, and soon it will be once again in the winter. In a few years' time, it will once again. It will be in winter, and it will line up with the rest of the holidays of season, which is pretty neat. But this year it did not. This year Eid was like in July. But that's fine. His little stickers. Kind of funky. There's his little his little eye visor stickers. Once again, a little disappointed that this guy doesn't have like water slides or dry rubs. He's just got stickers, most of which I probably will not use. Though I do like the Tekadon logo. It is really cute. And I like that you can choose between the perfectly nice one or the weathered one, which is kind of like a neat little touch that you can either have the nice Tekadon logo or like the kind of weathered. My beautiful lights. I have my lights once again, so I have that, but once again I must contend with them. My lighting. I also realized this is it's cool lighting. I don't like cool lighting. I like warm, I like mid-tone lighting. Gotta play around with my lights a little bit. We'll see what it looks like. But anyhow, that is all of the runners that have been unearthed. These ones intrigue me because these are like, I think you can kind of tell from the stream, but this is like a nice chocolate brown color, which I'm quite curious about how that's gonna look because I'm used to a lot of these like kind of dark gray or black runners. But I don't really see ones that are like a brown color like this too often, especially since this looks like it's for weapons. So I'm quite curious. I also can't wait to build Barbados' little pike guy. I love the little pike guy. Okay, now to throw Barbados' decals on the pile with all of my other various gunpla decals that I don't use. My other various Gundam decals that I do not use. Please read instructions for assembling. That usually is the plan. Neat. just start on the chest unit. Beautiful. But yeah. Like I said before, I didn't really celebrate Christmas growing up because my family's Muslim. And thus I never I didn't really believe in Santa. I knew that Santa wasn't real, but I wasn't old enough to really fathom what that actually meant. My understanding of Christmas was that you put toys there are toys and they're under a tree. That was my understanding of Christmas, because I was like, okay, I guess that's what you do. And I wanted to feel included. I wanted to feel included. To be runners. I wanted to feel included, and thus, when I was a little kid, I'm talking 5, I was kindergarten age, I would take one of my toys, and on Christmas I would just put it under a big potted plant that we had in our house, because it's not like we'd have a tree. Well, it's not like we celebrated, so we didn't have a tree, but we did have kind of a big potted plant, and thus that was my understanding of Christmas, where I was like, okay, I've put my toy under a big plant, what now? And that was my idea of Christmas for a very long time, because we just didn't really celebrate it. But in the past few years, I want to say, my mom has begun celebrating Christmas, really just so that she has an excuse to decorate, which I cannot blame her for. I do like the decorating aspect of Christmas. I do think it's very pretty. And I always like going out to look at all the holiday lights and stuff. It's very nice. So I truly cannot blame her for wanting to participate in this wonderful capitalist tradition that we have. Yeah, that's kind of the extent of our Christmas. Of course, we also do the whole thing where we get together and we eat food as a family, and also it's just an excuse to have another family gathering. And we kind of do presents, but it's in the sense of it's the kind of thing where it's we know what things are going to be. It's if anyone in our family has something they need towards the end of the year, it will simply just end up as a Christmas present. Someone, my grandmother needed a new vacuum, got wrapped and put under the tree. I needed a new toothbrush, it got wrapped and put under the tree. That's mostly what we do. But it's kind of nice to participate in the whole, in the, I guess, the showmanship of it. I guess in the whole show of it. It's kind of fun. But that's the extent of my Christmas experience. I'm always curious if people have any interesting Christmas things that they do. Because besides that, the extent of my Christmas knowledge is via pop culture. I do in fact love watching the Charlie Brown Christmas special. It's great. I always used to watch the Charlie Brown Christmas special just because it's a good movie. How can you dislike the Charlie Brown? It's a Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown. That and The Muppets Christmas Carol, another banger. Another banger of a film. Really, I love most things that the Muppets are in. I am in fact a Muppets head. I have scared people at the speed at which I can pull up Kermit the Frog sings Once in a Lifetime on YouTube. Truly, at any given point, I will have it. I will have it on the ready. It's very important to me that I have Kermit the Frog sings once in a lifetime. Okay, this goes this way. So many things. This is complex. Things are happening right now, and I don't entirely know how the heck they're working. Thing on this. Okay, wait. This goes this way. This has like, oh, so that's got that little thing over there. Got that little thing over there. Then this has to go in here somehow. Not entirely sure how. The instructions are not very clear about how the hell this slots in here. I see the little egg guy that this is supposed to kind of go into. And do I rotate it? And then I rotate it. Whoa! Supposed to be upright like that. Beautiful. Excellent. We've done it. But Christmas is neat. It's a fun time. I don't quite know what else to do, what else people really do for Christmas. I've also learned to love eggnog. I had eggnog for the first time last year. Not the alcoholic beverage kind, but just like the kind you buy from the supermarket. And it's really good. I've added eggnog to the list of seasonal delicacies that it's quite unfortunate are only available at certain times, that these wonderful things are only locked to certain times of the year. My top one is Cadbury mini eggs. I love Cadbury mini eggs. They are like one of my all-time favorite candies, but unfortunately they're only available at Easter time, and thus I suffer 9 months out of the year that are too far from the Easter zone, and thus I'm robbed of Cadbury mini eggs. I'm not allowed to eat them because they're just not available. Pretty messed up, honestly. I can't just like have Cadbury mini eggs year round. Honestly, same thing with eggnog. Eggnog is so good. Why is eggnog like locked to Christmas? It's just delicious. It's like a nice season, like winter, even outside of winter. Like, eggnog is a cold beverage. I feel like you can have eggnog anytime. We could even spin eggnog as like a spring Easter thing too, because it's got egg in it. I assume eggnog has egg in it. It is called eggnog. So, and also it says it's ultra pasteurized. So it's got egg in there somewhere. But I'm just like, why? For what purpose do we lock such delicacies into a certain season? You can like go to the store and get a Kit Kat year round. Why can't I get Cadbury mini eggs year round? It's honestly quite messed up, to be frank with you. I also recently went to a stage production of A Christmas Carol. It was quite nice. I have like a very, I guess not harrowed. I have kind of a complicated relationship with musical theater because through middle school and high school, I was in the AV crew, and thus I would always be there to help out with whatever musical production the school is putting on at any given time. The same back and forward. I want to say it is. I say yes, it is. And so this. Oh wait, no, there's another piece. Ow. From the D runner. I have to go find a D runner. Whatever the hell that thing is. Oh, I found it. It's this guy. Once again, building a large kit to remind me of how bad my runner organization is, and that I once again, like, I should really get around to like I need a better system for that. I really don't. That I never do. But yeah, I have a mixed relationship with musical theater because I spent my middle and high school years on the AV crew, and thus helping out with whatever musical or play production my school was putting on. And thus, when you are, fun fact, when you're on the AV crew and you have to go to all the rehearsals and you gotta do all of the things, you end up becoming quite acquainted with theater kids. And I will not lie to you, theater kids scared the hell out of me. They are I say this as someone who's also a freak. Like, theater kids are like a different level of freak. They genuinely scared me sometimes with like I'm like, what, with like their inside jokes and their made up superstitions. Like, there are like certain words that you can't say or else people will look at you like you killed someone. And I'm just like, I don't know what's happening. I'm just here to make sure the lights look okay. I do not know what your problem is. And the whole just like singing out of literally nowhere, I'm just like, theater kids freak me out. And thus, I was a bit turned off by musical theater. Not that I didn't enjoy some of the productions. I think one year my high school put on A Little Shop of Horrors, which is like a musical I'd never experienced before. Like, I think before that, the other musicals I like helped out with my school were like fairly popular ones. Like, I know what Beauty and the Beast is, you know? Like, I too watched the Disney movie, so like I already know what happens. I've seen Beauty and the Beast before. It was mostly musicals that I had like seen before, that I like already knew the stories of, that were basically already like popular movies. And I think we did like Legally Blonde once, which is like also pretty banger of a movie. But one year we did Little Shop of Horrors, I want to say when I was in like 11th grade, and I actually really enjoyed it. That was a really good musical. And just like, even now I think back, that was just like, even though it was like a high school performance, I think it was really good. It was just like some random suburban high school theater program. It was actually really good. I think I watched the movie after that. I was like, I kind of like the musical more, actually. And God, the other thing is that dealing with the lighting surrounding Audrey 2 is literal like hell on earth. Because that thing is huge. Because I did also help a little bit with like the set design and stuff, because I was also part of engineering. And so thus we were tasked a little bit with helping with some of the bigger set pieces. Man, that thing was freaking huge. And then dealing with like lighting and lighting around it and making sure that the light didn't bounce weirdly off of it and onto the actors. Oh my god. But besides that, currently on a break at work watching this. Much love from Windsor. Thank you. We do love Windsor, Connecticut. I've been to Windsor several times. Well, I think everyone has been to Windsor if you've ever been to Bradley Airport. But I've been to Windsor many times because when I was in high school and I did robotics, one of the bigger competitions every year was hosted by Windsor High School. So I remember I would go there every year. But thank you for tuning in, as always. I have no idea where the heck this part slots into. Theoretically, I see the little the little opening where this is supposed to slot into. And I think I got it, but it also, this thing looks crooked. I don't think I did this correctly. I don't think I did this correctly. Oh god. I don't want to drop this guy. So I guess it is kind of nice. Again, you have no idea. You cannot see my floor, but I no longer work in a carpeted room. My old hobby room used to be like fully shag carpeted, which is comfy, but if I ever dropped a piece, it was literally over for me. As soon as I dropped a single piece, it was literally over for me. I was like, yep. Especially if it was like small and gray. Like, oh god. Now that's 5 minutes of me crawling around on the floor with a flashlight until I found it. But yeah, that's my villain origin story. Oh, I love that I totally just broke off another piece now by accident. Because I know. That's fine. We're doing okay. I found the piece because I no longer have a shag carpeted floor. This is just wood floor now, so beautiful. No longer have shag carpeting to contend with. Did I put this on the wrong side? No. Wait a minute. It goes here. Where did I accidentally drop that piece? Did that break off? Is it over for me? Am I an idiot? Oh my god! I think I totally dropped that piece. Where'd it go? At least now I can just do a visual look around. But the problem is that I'm still cleaning up this space. So there is still like a bunch of random crap everywhere. Oh my god. Okay, we found it. All is okay. I found the piece. But found the piece. All is okay. We are good. But yeah, because I spent the entirety of my middle school and high school years on the AV crew, and thus in close proximity to theater kids, but I never was a theater kid. I only existed in proximity to theater kids via necessity of being in the AV crew. And thus, I was kind of like scared off from musical theater because I was like, oh god, if I even mildly like musical theater, it's over for me. I become one of these people. I couldn't live like that. And thus, I just never got into musical theater. Like, most of like the classic musicals and whatnot that people love, I have never seen them. I know right now Wicked is a hot topic because the movie just came out. I've never seen the original Wicked. I don't even know what the plot is. I know that it's about the characters from The Wizard of Oz. And I know that one song called Popular because I like the singer Mika, and he did I want to say a cover of it, or it might have just been like he wrote the song. I have no idea. But he did the song Popular, and I thought it was a good song. But that truly is my extent of knowledge on Wicked, and really any other like classic famous musical that didn't have like a very popular movie production. Like I've seen Les Miserables, Les Mis. That's mostly because I read the book. This is supposed to slot in here somehow. This clicks. Oh. I'm an idiot. Just letting into the wrong thing. That's fine. But oh, now I do it again. Wonderful. But I I say that I'm not a musical theater person. I have been to a handful of musical theater productions since being in the high school, besides when I was a high schooler doing AV stuff and having to help out with all of my local high school theater productions. Been to a handful, but I was like so removed from musical theater that I lived off Broadway Avenue for 3 years, and I did not watch a single musical production. Part of it was also musicals are expensive, and I was a broke college student. But wait, that was B. Did I? That was. Oh, is there another B runner in here? Something there is. I was like, wait a minute. That B10 and B11. Forgot that there's a whole other B runner. There is 2 of them. Well, I do like the detail that's like molded into the inner parts. That is pretty nice. I do like that. But yeah, I have seen a few musical theater productions. There is there's one time I went to go see a musical with my mother, who invited me to go see this musical with like a couple of our family friends. And so I was like, okay. And the plot of the musical on the like, because it was like a local theater production. Wasn't there something happening in CT, something that was on the news? What's happening in Connecticut that's on the news? What? It is snowing. It did snow yesterday. That was pretty sick. Something that was on the news. I have no idea. I don't really watch the news as religiously as I used to. Every now and then I'll like, if it's like really important, obviously I will keep up with it. Like, I do still try and vaguely keep up with local politics because it is important. But for the most part, I do not know what's happening. I do not know what is happening. But I went to go see this like local theater production with my mom and a family friend. And the description of the musical was like, ah man, it's about 2 people who are getting married, and one of them is Jewish and one of them is Christian, and their families do not approve of this marriage because of the like implication is that because of the interfaith relationship that these 2 people have. I think the bride is Jewish and the husband is Christian. The groom is Christian. And neither of their parents particularly approve of their union. And the story takes place like right before the wedding. And so basically the entirety of the musical is like the 2 hours before the wedding. And all the mess that's happening of like the mom of the groom is like super clingy and it's like, oh my god, and she's not ready to let go, let alone for some Jewish witch that he's marrying, according to her. And it was like, it's messy. And that's like what the story is portrayed as. That is what the story is portrayed as. But then halfway through, right before the intermission, so up until this point, the bride and the groom had not been together. Like, they're kind of off in their own little corners because traditionally, the husband's not supposed to see the bride until later and all that stuff. And like, basically, the like musical, the story is like kind of happening in 2 sections where there's like the bride section and there's the groom section. And the bride's family is still like trying to hook her up with this like ex-boyfriend of hers that they liked better, and like the sister of the bride is like having her own crisis, and like there's so much happening. There's just like, it's kind of like a whole mess, but it was like it was still like very fun. It's a whole mess. And the groom's got this whole thing of like kind of trying to deal with his mom, but luckily both the bride and the groom have their like best friends with them, which is like the maid of honor and the best man, and they're all like trying to help each other, and it's like kind of nice. And then smack dab halfway through the musical, during like the final scene before the intermission, the bride and the groom finally end up in the same room together with their, you know, best friends that are like, finally we have a moment alone without basically without our entire families trying to stop this wedding. And immediately the groom and the best man and the bride and the maid of honor start kissing. Because the plot twist is that both these people are gay and that they are participating in a marriage for the sake of covering up their sexualities. And as you find out later, the plot is that the groom actually is the beneficiary of a big inheritance, but it's written in it turns out his grandfather is like old and homophobic and is like who he's inheriting money from. It's like, you shall receive your inheritance upon marriage with a woman, upon legally because this is also before, I think this musical was written before gay marriage was federally legalized. But it's like, you must be in a legally binding marriage. At the time, that's like a heterosexual marriage. And so he's like, oh, so if I want to be rich, I have to marry a woman. And he has this best friend who is also gay and doesn't want her parents to know, but she has like a long-term partner, and he also has a long-term partner. They both have their long-term partners, and I believe the groom like was a sperm donor for the bride, and so she and her partner could have a child. And I was like, oh wow. So they're like, wait a minute, you're already the father of my child, let's just get married and just split the money 4 ways and live our best lives. And that's exactly what their master plan is. And so now the rest of the plot is like enacting their master plan. And I don't fully remember what happens. I saw this musical like years and years ago. I also, for the life of me, cannot remember what the name of it was. It was like something wedding affair, marriage affair. Like, I can recall the plot pretty well, but I cannot recall the name of the musical, and thus I have not ever been able to find it since. It was really fun, actually, but it was also very funny to watch this musical with my Muslim mother and our family friend who is extremely Christian, and neither too about gay people. They did not know this is going to be a story about gay people. And it was quite entertaining. It was a bit awkward, but it was entertaining. And it was a really good musical. I quite enjoyed it. And the local theater production that put it on did a really good job. I do not at all remember what this musical was. Sounds like a crossover episode? Yeah. I cannot for the life of me remember what the name of this musical was, and I have been wanting to try and find it for a while, but I just do not know. I just do not know. And I've tried looking up several keywords about the plot, and I've still not been able to find it because the plot is I just end up with crazy results when I look up keywords from the plot, and I'm like, this is not even remotely what I'm looking for. But someday, I do want to try and find this musical again, because I really enjoyed it. But that is only one of the few musicals I've ever been to. I think the other theater production I have ever attended, there's a thing that's supposed to be happening here. I think it's supposed to be in a direction, but I don't think it matters that much. So I will not care that much. The only other theater production I went to was actually the first real Broadway production I've been to was last year for my birthday. Some of my friends took me to a musical, and all I knew about it was that it was written by the guys who did A Book of Mormon, which is another musical that I only know of but have never watched. I've heard a few of the songs just via osmosis, because it's one of those musicals that musical theater kids love, and I was like, especially in the 2010s, oh my god, hell. But I inevitably have heard parts of it just via osmosis. So I knew what the Book of Mormon as the musical. I know what the Book of Mormon is as a religious entity, but I know vaguely what the Book of Mormon is as a musical. And so I knew it was a musical made by the same guys who did the Book of Mormon. And that's kind of all I knew about it. I knew it was about the printing press. It was about inventing the printing press, and then it was, when I got there, it turns out, I had no idea, it was in fact actually it was a 2-man musical. It's kind of crazy. I didn't know they could do that. I didn't know they could just do that. But one, it was performed by the two of them, which is pretty neat. I was like, oh my god, because both of them are actors. They do other stuff, and I was like, oh my god, I've seen those people before. But also, turns out the musical itself was a very, very meta musical that was kind of a commentary on musicals in general. I was like, I do not know if I'm the target audience for this, but I still had a fun time. That's kind of the extent of my musical theater. I've only recently begun warming up to musical theater. I feel like I'm far enough removed from all of my high school memories of having to hang out with theater kids via being on AV and having to participate in every musical theater production that my high school put on. But I feel like I'm far enough removed that I'm like, you know what? Maybe musical theater is not half bad. But I'm not even remotely a theater kid. But the other day, I went to go see a production of Christmas Carol that was also put on by a local theater. Honestly, I don't even care that much about Broadway. I feel like I've quite enjoyed the musical theater productions put on by local theater groups. It feels quaint, it's really nice, and the performances are always still really, really good. The guy that played Scrooge was very talented. He did a really good job. I was like, oh my god. This is a local theater production. It was a tiny theater. It was so close. I was in the front row. It was a black box theater, I want to say. I think that's the type of place this was. It was a black box theater, meaning that there is no real stage. It's the stage is not separate. It's kind of if you've ever been in a gymnasium, it's kind of the seats are set up like a gymnasium seats, where it's in a little, in the little U shape, But the theater, there's like a little bit of like stage space further back, but for the most part, like the space inside the little U of seats is the stage, which is very neat. And I was in the front row. So there were many points at which they were getting very close to me, to the point where at one point the actor who played Scrooge almost fell on me and like had to and like quietly apologized. And I was like, no, it's okay. I'm doing fine. But there were definitely several times where I was afraid that like one of the dancers would like kick my beverage, and I was like, oh god, my beverage. But there's something charming about being like right there. There's something charming about like being in the front row and getting to see everything up close and see the actors' expressions and all of that stuff very up close. And being in like a little theater like that, it was very immersive is how I think I would describe it. It was very immersive. I was like, oh my god. It was very cool. Like I didn't even feel like there's anyone else there. Like the rest of the audience was even there because it was so immersive. I was like, I just was not even thinking about anything else, which I don't think you could really get from a Broadway production because they're so big. So I did not dislike the one Broadway production I have been to. So that, I guess, I don't know how faithful that is to an actual Broadway production. It was like a medium-sized theater, and it was a two-man show. So I was like, I don't know how faithful that is to like most Broadway productions. But I am more open to theater these days, I feel like. I'm more open to music theater. If there's anyone out there that even knows anything about musical theater and has any suggestions for me, I would love to hear it out, especially stuff that's like local to Connecticut. I really want to like be someone who goes to local theater productions because I've had fun at every single like local theater production I've been to. I've had a great time. So I think I think that's fun. I like the idea of, supporting local theater and going to see local theater productions because all of them that I've been to have been really good. Okay. Oh my god, I think this is the Barbados waist bit. This little waist bit. So fun. Let's see. And that's how I'm tying this back to Christmas, because I went to go see Christmas Carol and it was very good. I have never seen the musical A Christmas Carol. I have only ever watched like there was the movie production of it that I forgot. I want to say it was like a Jim Carrey production kind of a deal, but I do not think I'm correct. I don't think I'm correct. But I do recall there being some like kind of classic Christmas Carol movie. And obviously, I've seen The Muppets Christmas Carol. Obviously, I've seen The Muppets Christmas Carol. It is excellent. And I've read the book by Charles Dickens. And that's the extent of my Christmas Carol experiencing. But watching it as a musical is kind of crazy. It was kind of crazy. But it was a good time. And and I went to go see it with my friends. So it was just like a really nice little experience of just like, oh my god, we also all like dressed up fancy. This is not I was supposed to do something. This piece, I'm gonna keep that to the side. I've totally skipped a step. That's fine. This is comebackable. It was like It was like such a fun little time because we all got to dress up in nice clothes and go to the theater and have a good time. We all got to dress up fancy and go to the theater, and we like, oh my god, it's like just a fun, it's such a nice little activity to do with people. But tell me you bust out the pearl necklace. Please, of course. Of course. Who do you think I am? Who do you think I am? Of course I bust out the pearl necklace. I've got a couple of pearl necklaces, actually. But I did, in fact, bust out the pearl necklace. This is obvious. And so I had my fancy little outfit on. It was very fun. I had like busted out my like really nice jacket and my heels and my pearl necklace, and it was a nice time. Even though I hate walking in heels, unfortunately, it is one of the things we do for the aesthetic. Beauty is pain. But it's quite nice. I was very worried that like once I was back in Connecticut, I would kind of have nothing to do because fun fact, I grew up in Connecticut, but I moved to New York for college, and I like have not lived here since then. I've lived in New York for ever since I was 17. So for almost like 10 years. I lived in New York for like 8 years. I lived in New York. Heels couldn't be me. Listen. Maybe not you. But don't knock it. Don't knock it till you try it. I'm kidding. I don't know if you ever want to try heels. I don't know if I'd ever wish that upon anyone. But I've only ever lived in Connecticut, like, as a child. This post was made by the alpha male, toxic male, giga male king. Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to wear heels. This way. This goes this way into here. Snap in here. What? This is not snapped in here. But yeah, I've only ever lived in Connecticut, like, as a child. So the extent of my knowledge of what's going on in Connecticut is like what I did when I was in high school, which is not a lot because I was a teenager and you don't really, like, the social scene is like you're a teenager. What is there to know? What is there to do and what is there to know? And thus I was like kind of worried about moving back to Connecticut because I had spent up till this point my entire adult life in New York. And so I like New York. I know where things are in New York. I know what to do in New York and things that I do for fun and like cool things to do in New York. But I didn't know anything in Connecticut. I was like, all I know in Connecticut is like, I don't know, what you do is movie theater, which is you hang out at the mall and you go to Barnes & Noble and you sit there in the manga section of Barnes & Noble and then you like, and that's about it. And then you go to the mall and then maybe you go to the movies, and that's kind of the extent of of what it is as a teenager. Of what there is now as a teenager. In terms of like the social scene of Connecticut. In terms of like the social scene. So this is to say, I did not know a lot. I was a bit worried because I was like, I don't know. I don't actually know anything. And then you go to the mall, and then you get ice cream. Yeah, and then you go for a walk, and then you go to the mall, and then you go to the mall. Yeah. That is precisely what I did as a teenager. Like, I'm not even kidding. Is you go to the mall, and then you go on a walk, and then you go to the mall, and then you get ice cream, and then you go to the mall. And then you go to the manga section of Barnes & Noble, and then you go for a walk, and then you get ice cream, and then you go to the mall. Like, that's kind of it. That's kind of it. When you're a teenager. But luckily, I've actually been having a pretty good time. I was worried, but I've actually been having a pretty good time. Already off the bat, I got to go to like a cool little local theater production. I'm still scoping, I mean, obviously there's still the tabletop store, which is pretty neat. I like the tabletop store. So I've also been going to this tabletop store since I was a teenager. Fun fact, I have been going to the tabletop store for a long time. I was in high school. But yeah, I've been having a good time actually. Okay, where does this thing actually go? Is this not slot into there? This into here? This slots into here. Okay. Okay. I understand now. And then this goes somewhere. This slots into. Oh, wait. I understand now. I have the knowledge. Where this goes. Oh my god, and it's this little. God, wait, it's the Barbatos little chest unit of his snatched waist and his little support poles and his snatched waist and whatever the hell's going on here. This is another thing. Oh, now I have to pull out the Sea Runner. I haven't even had to touch the Sea Runner yet. Something I really should have made note of what the Sea Runner is. Oh, excellent. I found the Sea Runner. But I have found I went to a nice little local theater production. I like the tabletop store. And I've been scoping out some other like cool local things. I've already found a cool little camera shop that can develop my photos. And turns out there's like a little photography club that's part of it, which is really nice. Because honestly, when I lived in New York, I've always been into photography, but I was too scared to like join any photography groups and be a part of any photography groups, especially since getting into film. Like early this year and last year, like really it was more this year that I got really into film. But I was like so scared to join any local photography groups in New York because I'm like, every time I look at it, I'm like, okay, these people are so serious about it. These people are so serious about it, and it's very intense. And I'm like, I am an amateur and a hobbyist. I have no idea what I'm doing. And I was too scared to ever like participate and join stuff like local photography groups because I was like, oh god. They're all gonna make fun of me because I don't know what I'm doing. So I never did, but Connecticut is significantly less daunting. Connecticut seems significantly less daunting, and I talked to the people who worked at I talked to someone who worked at the camera store. I talked to a couple people who worked at the camera store and was like, yeah, the scene in Connecticut is like really not as intense. Like it's a lot more like local kids and stuff like that. And so it's like, oh thank God, I can go there and it won't be that bad. Sounds like NYC photography clubs are just competitive ranked Pokemon Snap. That really is what it feels like. That really is what it feels like. It's competitive ranked Pokemon Snap. I'm like, why is this so intense? Oh, I totally did not secure this properly, and now this has fallen out. This is wonderful for me. Beautiful, even. Oh God. Man. Okay. I need my tweezers for this. My actual tweezers for this. Might actually need my tweezers. Okay. High stress activity. Okay. But now to really squeeze this shut so that it doesn't fall out again. Please don't fall out again. I'm begging you. But yeah, it really did seem like a competitive ranked Pokemon Snap. I was like, please. My photos are only okay. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm simply trying my best. Ow. My fingernail. Oh. We're good. My hands are so ashy. My hands are so dry. Because I just finished shoveling a driveway and then I got here because it snowed. So at least this morning, my roommate made us breakfast sandwiches. Eat. I'm like, it's kind of nice living with people now, or I'm like, oh my God. I don't just have to like do everything by myself. That sounds so sad, but I did enjoy living alone. But I was like, oh my God, I don't just have to like do everything by myself. That's so crazy. There's like other people there. But snaps. Does this snap? Wait. That's so cool. This. Line it up. Snaps into here. This snaps into here. Oh, that's pretty cool actually. That's pretty cool actually. And I like that the instructions have little checkpoints for people like me who don't know what they're doing. Excellent. Wonderful. That's something I should add to my Gundam toolbox is hand lotion. That's a good idea. I should put hand lotion in here. But I also fear that may work against me because my hands will be slippery and that will be worse. But I guess there's only one way to find out whether or not that's a good idea, and that's by doing it. But I'm having a good time. I could think the one thing that I have yet to find that I think I will struggle to find. I'm already kind of struggling to find good Asian groceries because a lot of the Asian groceries around here are more expensive than in New York. I'm like used to Asian groceries in New York being like the cheaper option. It's really easy to get a lot of Asian groceries in New York, but I forget in Connecticut it's a little bit more sparse, and thus I have to like pay a little more. Yeah. And when I was in one of the Asian groceries nearby, they were charging $6 for Kewpie mayonnaise. I was like, why is Kewpie mayonnaise $6? It's $5 at H Mart. But there is no H Mart here. They didn't invent H Mart yet here. So sad. I miss H Mart. I miss H Mart so much. was very spoiled by living close to an H Mart. And now I'm not. I don't know how to live without it. There are other Asian groceries. They're not, like, they're fine. The other Asian groceries are good. I'm traveling from the future, banging on the window. No, stop, don't use the... Yeah, me in the future being like, actually, that's a horrible idea. Horrible idea. Okay. Look at these guys. But I simply have my AirPods in. I cannot hear. And thus, it doesn't. It's okay. I'm just gonna do it anyway. We'll see what happens. What was the train of thought I was on before? I was talking... Oh yeah, Asian groceries. I was talking about Asian groceries. Oh. I'm like quite spoiled by having an H Mart in close proximity. Asian groceries nearby are good too, but they're a little more expensive. And I'm like, why? Why are they more expensive? Why do I have to... Why do we have to live like this? Terrible. Also, please, for the love of God, don't buy Asian food from the regular grocery store. It's always so expensive for no reason. I once went into a Stop and Shop and saw that they were selling basically knockoff Kewpie mayo for $10. And I'm like, oh my God, this is highway robbery. How are they allowed to do this to people? And it wasn't even like I wasn't even like the real Kewpie mayo. It was like knockoff Kewpie. I was like, and it didn't taste as good. Why would they do this? Terrible. Same thing with like instant noodles and stuff. They're always so expensive. Whenever I pass by like the Asian aisle at the American grocery store, I'm like, what do you mean they're charging you $4 for a single pack of like instant noodles for like a Shin ramen? I'm like, what's happening? Is this like here? Okay, wait. I should probably pay more attention to what direction it's supposed to be in. This way. This goes in here. This goes in here. I believe. This goes in here. Then this goes in here. But it's not like snapping in. I feel like something was supposed to happen. Or otherwise they're a little bit unsecured. I'm worried about it not being like super secure. But I think it's fine. I think it's okay. The other thing that I think I will miss is is karaoke. Fun fact about me is that I love singing in karaoke. Fun fact, behind the scenes for this very stream is that a lot of the time when I'm testing my mic before stream is I'll sing, though I'm not gonna... Heather doesn't like when I sing stuff because it's copyrighted. It's copyrighted music, and we don't want to be killed by YouTube. We don't want to be killed in Minecraft by YouTube. So I don't, but I always sing while I'm testing the mics before stream. Because I I quite like singing, and I love karaoke. I love karaoke. I love going to karaoke. Again, I have to specify, I like specifically Asian karaoke. I don't like like bar karaoke, that freaks me out. But going to like a karaoke place in Flushing or something, or like even Round One has karaoke, which was pretty good. At least the Round One that is in New York has karaoke, which is pretty banger. You like have your little karaoke room. Though there is, I could talk about this now because it's no longer doxing me because I don't live there anymore. But there was this one sushi place that I loved. There's this one sushi place that I loved that I think we just like, my friends and I like stumbled into by accident because we had just finished watching a movie and we wanted to get dinner after, and so we're getting sushi. We looked up, there's a sushi place that was nearby. And so we went there. And first thing we discovered, this place is tiny. Like, it is a shoebox of a restaurant. Like, the entire restaurant, there's like the little bar, sushi bar area, little L-shaped sushi bar area, and there are like 3 4-person tables. And that is the entire, not even 3, I think there's like 2, maybe 3 4-person tables. And that is the entire restaurant. No, I didn't want to say 3. It was definitely 2. It was 2 4-person tables. And that was the entire restaurant. And I think there might have also been some like extra window seating by the bar, but like there was a grand total of 2 4-person tables and like an L-shaped bar, and that was the whole place. It was very cramped, but it was very like cozy. And you know, my friends and I were like just barely a big enough. We were like 4 people, and we just barely fit in the restaurant. And I remember like it was very cozy. It was very nice. The food is very good. The food is very good. And at some point, this is like another thing to remember. This is like a Friday night. At one point, one of the managers came up to us and just started handing us karaoke mics and was like, "What songs do you want?" And we're like, "What? What is happening?" And turns out this sushi place is also a karaoke. This tiny little local sushi place is also a karaoke bar. And I had the time of my life. That place was great. The food was good, the karaoke was good. It was just like picking whatever songs you want and just going crazy, and everyone was having a good time. And it was a small restaurant. So it's not like it was super insane either. I was just having a great time. I love that place. I love that place. But I fear there are no similar karaoke things in Connecticut. Like, I like karaoke so much. Fun fact, for my birthday this year, this is unintentional. I had like a little birthday party in Connecticut. It was very nice. I had a little birthday party in Connecticut. Of just like a few of my friends that are from Connecticut and just like, you know, getting together. And someone brought a karaoke machine because I knew one of my friends has a karaoke machine. And originally this wasn't the intent of the party, but the party ended up just becoming a karaoke party. And it was fantastic. I had the time of my life. I will not claim to be a particularly good singer. I have like 0, you know, training or anything like that. I wasn't even in like choir when I was a kid. I like have a basic knowledge of music just because I did play an instrument for most of my life. But I am not even remotely a singer. I just like singing. Truly it is just a fun little hobby for me. It's not even something that I'm like seriously pursuing or like I want to take lessons in or something. I just like singing. Like, I don't know, man. I think it's okay to like things without like wanting to be super, super good at them. Like, I don't know. I think it's fine to just be like an okay singer. I think it's fine to just be like an okay singer. Acapella karaoke stream when genuinely, I'm not even kidding. I really want to I really want to do one. I really want to do a karaoke stream at some point. Because I do really like singing. Even though I'm not particularly good. I just like doing it. And I really want to. Though it definitely will not be on this channel because we will get killed with copyright. But I do think it would be fun. But I do really like singing. And there have been a few times where I like accidentally start humming or singing something and Heather's like, do not do that. We will get copyright struck. But the song that I was singing before today's stream was Last Christmas, which is one of the only Christmas songs that I do like. I don't like Christmas music. It is not good. I know, it's sacrilegious to say on the unofficial Brunch and Build Christmas episode. I'm sorry that it has to come out like this, but Christmas music is just like not good. It's just not good. They're just songs that exist because people like Christmas music because people like Christmas, not because the music is good. But I will say there are a couple exceptions of Christmas songs that are genuinely good. I do love Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas. It is massively overplayed. I do fully know this. But once again, that is not the point. Because again, I don't celebrate Christmas. I don't listen to the radio. I don't celebrate Christmas. And I don't work a retail job that subjects me to that. Oh, this is the H runner. I need the D runner. What is that? The other. There's another. Oh, D2. Ooh, it's a gold. Well, it's kind of crap gold. But there's exactly 2 Christmas songs that I like. And one of them is All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey. And the other is Last Christmas by Wham! Those are the only 2 Christmas songs that I can tolerate that I think are like actually really good songs. That I will, in fact, enjoy singing. And I've been singing All I Want. Not All I Want. I've been singing Last Christmas quite a bit lately. Because it just got like caught in my brain. Because I think it's because my mom loves that song. my mom's a big George Michael fan. And thus she loves the song Last Christmas. And so I hear it when I think she played it when I was home the last time, like a couple weeks ago. Not a couple weeks ago, like a week ago when I was visiting home. When I was visiting my family. Neat. I think it would be nice to have. I might want to repaint this piece so it doesn't look like plastic, kind of crappy plastic gold. I don't know why. Because the silver pieces are very nice. The silver plated, we're going to zoom in a little bit so it's a little bit more visible. But the silver plate pieces are very nice. Like the silver plate, oh, I'm literally holding the runner. The silver plate runner is quite nice. But the gold runner is dull and not good. It's not very good. And so I may want to repaint some of this. But I don't know, maybe when it all comes together, the kind of dull gold will look better rather than like very metallic shiny gold. So who knows? Who knows? That'll be an adventure for me of the future. Oh my god, now I get to put in the little guy. But I am a big fan of karaoke. And I really wish that there was like karaoke in Connecticut, but I really don't think there is, the kind that I'm thinking of at least. I'm sure I could go to some dive bar and sing Kelly Clarkson, but it's not the same. It's not the same. I don't like being surrounded by drunk people. I don't mind going to gatherings, and I have like a few friends that are getting drunk, like that are drinking, like that's fine. That's them living their best lives. But I don't like being in public with a lot of drunk people that I don't know. That's not fun for me automatically. And I just want to have a good time. I just want to sing and have a good time. And even in New York, like really one of the only good places to do karaoke is like Flushing. Because that's where all the good, like, nice Asian karaoke spots are. And there's some good places. There's some good karaoke places. That, and obviously in Manhattan too. I've been to karaoke in Koreatown several times. At one point, my friends and I are thinking about, there's a karaoke place in A-Town that does, oh god, did I get plastic in my hot cocoa? I really hope I didn't. Well, it's lukewarm cocoa now, but I really hope I didn't get a spare piece of plastic in my hot chocolate, because I was going to go reheat it after this. To go finish my hot cocoa. That I really hope there are not plastic chunks in. I consume enough microplastics by existing. I do not need any more plastics within me. I do not need to be eating any more plastic. I think I consume enough plastic. But there's a karaoke place in the city that does this thing that on Sundays they'll give you a discount. If you book an 8-hour time slot, they'll give you like a super discounted rate. So you can just have like an 8-hour karaoke marathon basically. And the other thing that these places are for, like it's not like you're stuck there for 8 hours, like you can kind of go in and out. We can order, it's also like smack dab in Koreatown. We can walk outside and go across the street and get like fried chicken. It is right there. There's a food court next door. Like, we got a lot of options. And you're allowed to bring outside food, which is usually how these karaoke places work, is that you're allowed to bring outside food, but not outside drinks. And they just charge you a lot for like drinks and stuff, because a lot of people like to drink into karaoke. Because that's where they make their dollars. But you're allowed to bring like outside food, do whatever you want. Like before, my friends and I have 100% brought like food and pastries and stuff to karaoke. Like we've had friends' birthday parties in karaoke places where you just bring a little cake and have a good time. Like they do not care. As long as it's not outside beverages, you're fine. And so that just sounds like a really fun thing that my friends and I might do at some point, is just book a karaoke place in the city for like 8 hours and go ham. And it's like 3 people, and we're just like, if we're hungry, we'll just go across the street and get some food, and that is the plan. E-runner. Oh, I have to track down the E-runner, which contains a little guy, apparently. The pilot. My boy, I want to say Mikazuki. I think his name is Mikazuki, the main guy from Iron-Blooded Orphan. I should know this. I have a little, my pet commander deck in Magic. I have to preface this. I'm extremely casual when it comes to TCGs. I am a hyper casual, but I just know enough to like play the game. It is Mikazuki. I just know enough to like play the game. I've got like a couple of commander decks, mostly like all modified precons. Like I'm hyper casual when it comes to most card games. The only card games that I take even mildly seriously are like obscure Japanese ones that no one cares, is like an obscure Japanese one that no one cares about. So why is wait a minute. Wait a minute. I cannot zoom in enough to convey this. We're gonna try, but his little model, the little pilot model. Oh my god, please focus. Please. The little pilot model is one, very well sculpted, but two, come on. Okay. But two, I again do not know if this comes through, but he's sculpted to be shirtless. He's got little abs. What? Why did they do that? I don't remember. Was that like a plot thing that he like has to be shirtless to pilot the mech? I think that might be true because they have like stuff mechanics like built into their spine or something that's got to be plugged in. But I'm like, didn't they have pilot suits? Like, wasn't that like a whole thing? I do not remember. It's been a while since I watched IBO, but for whatever reason, the little pilot model is sculpted to be shirtless, and he's got little abs. You can see his little plastic abs. That's kind of funny. I just thought that was funny. Could never get into MTG fully. Mostly played Yu-Gi-Oh growing up. Yeah, I like most kids played Pokemon, but not really. I liked collecting Pokemon cards because I liked Pokemon, but I can't really say I super knew I like really played the card game. And similar thing with Yu-Gi-Oh. I really liked the show. I like religiously watched Yu-Gi-Oh the anime. Like on 4Kids TV, I would watch it religiously. I love Yu-Gi-Oh, but I only like kind of played the card game as a kid, like not really. I just like didn't really play a lot of card games. But yeah, MTG, I've never super been into it. The only reason why I like learned how to play it in the first place was because I worked at a tabletop store and I felt bad because a lot of people would like ask about MTG stuff and I just like could not answer them because I had no idea what was happening. Wait, oh, it's this guy. I just had no idea how to play the game, and so I was like, I should at least like learn how to play the game so that I could like answer, I could like know what people are talking about. Oh, look, his little pilot compartment. Like that I knew what people were talking about, and I played like a few sealed games, and then I've got like my couple of pet commander decks, and that is the extent of my MTG, and I quite prefer to do it that way. Wait, which way does this go? Which way is it supposed to go? This is okay. I was right. This goes this way, and then this goes this way, and then this slots into here somehow. Oh, I totally missed that. This is totally not going the way I think it's supposed to. I think this like goes into here somehow. I think this is supposed to go into here somehow because this is like not here. Please do not off. Okay. But the reason why I should know the name of the pilot of Barbatos, the main character from IBO, is because my pet commander deck is mech based. To no one's surprise, to literally no one's surprise, my pet commander deck is all vehicles, all robots. The whole point of my commander deck is I have a big robot and I want to use it. And it's great. I love my pet commander deck. This totally does go this way. Oh. I think that spun more than it was. Oh, maybe I just didn't upright that enough. These are connected here. This to come out. Don't do that. Don't come out of there. God. This slots into here. You know this. This goes back into here. Then it rotates. There we go. You think that this was not upright enough. I think that might have been part of the problem. But yeah, I have my pet mech-based commander deck, and I have a custom token in it where one of the main like big mechs that I bring out in the deck, I have a token that replaces it with Barbatos. And the other side is a pilot token, because my deck involves like pilot tokens that pilot the mechs, obviously. The pilot token is the main character from IBO, and it like says his name, and I really should know it because it's on the token. His name, I'm pretty sure, is Mikazuki. I'm pretty sure that's like his name. But I may be wrong. So please take that with a grain of salt. Because I am, unfortunately, a fake fan. Remember. This into here. I totally may have also broken something. That's also quite possible that I have 100% done that. And I really hope that it's not something crazy important. I really hope it doesn't think crazy important because I totally think I broke something already. It's fine. It's fine. I just gotta get this guy back in here. Just gotta get this guy back in here and rotate it so that it sticks. I also totally forgot. No, that's supposed to be like a slot thing. I'm gonna clip this just in case. I'm gonna clip that just in. I do think that was not supposed to break. Oh, I've now realized what's broken. It's the little pegs that are supposed to slot into there. Oops. This isn't going back in here probably because I've already like connected this whole assembly back to. I've already put this whole assembly together. Us blocks it from being back in here. Please. Oh, I may have made a mistake. I may have made a bit of a mistake. Not a bit. I have definitely made a bit of a mistake. But I think this, if all else fails, there's always glue. Because I do think this is just something that connects to another thing. I do think this is something that connects to another thing. I don't think this I think this is kind of supposed to be locked into where it is. I think the fact that it is, I think if it is stuck in place, it will not be the end of the world. I hope, I will simply assume for my own sake that I have not colossally messed everything up. I will simply assume for my own sake. I'm just gonna hold this in place myself and see if actually this will just become secured once I snap this in here. This goes into here. There's like a spot up here that this goes into. Yeah, I see it. This guy goes into here. It's not easy to get that in there, but it does. But it is supposed to go in there. See, that's this, how that slots into there. But unfortunately, this one's not in the right spot. So I will simply press that into there and hope that this keeps it secure enough. Okay. I think all is okay for now, at least. Until later, when my actions may have consequences. But right now, everything's fine. Everything is okay, actually. We are doing fine. Wonderful, even. Okay. Okay. This chest bit is so complicated. I honestly, again, I think that's... I've only built the high grade, so I was like, wow, I can't believe the master grade is more complicated. Okay, do I have to do this on both sides? I don't know. I suppose we'll find out. I don't know if we'll get the whole chest piece done today, because I have to work after this, and I kind of have to boogie in order to get there on time. But let's see. Okay. Beautiful. The other thing that I've been experiencing a lot lately is I have really been on like a Vocaloid kick. I've once again been on like a big Vocaloid kick. I've always been into Vocaloid. I've always been like a not tangential. I've always been pretty big on Vocaloid. But it kind of like comes and goes for me. You know, like I'm not like constantly listening to a ton of Vocaloid, but I do still quite like it. And lately I've been on a Vocaloid kick once again, because one of the kind of big popular Vocaloid producers came out with a new song lately. It's like really good actually. That's really good actually. It is Monitoring by Deco27. I like Deco27. They've got a lot of really popular Vocaloid songs. I will not lie to you, most of their songs sound the same. Stylistically, extremely similar is what I will say, to be nice. And I'm just... But their new song they came out with is actually stylistically different. It's really interesting. It's a really funky song called Monitoring. It's Iku, but if she was a crazy stalker that's after you. And I think that concept is cute. Wow, stalkers, cute and fun. I think that concept is cute, and the song is very catchy, and it's good. And it's stylistically different. It's stylistically different from the other kind of typical Deco songs. And so I was like very pleasantly surprised that this song is quite good actually. And it's stylistically different and interesting and creative. I've been listening to it nonstop. Like, I've been listening to it so much. if you're into Vocaloid and you for some reason have not heard it, I would highly recommend it. I would highly recommend it, even if you're not really into Vocaloid. It's just like a fun song. It's just like a fun little song. And that has also just been getting me back on my Vocaloid nonsense. I've just been listening to a lot of classic Vocaloid, a lot of Vocaloid covers, and it's been a good time. Remembering that Magnet is such a banger, and okay, one of my, like, I feel more sacrilegious Vocaloid opinions. Again, if you don't know anything about Vocaloid, I'm sorry. I will just be speaking words to you, and I just hope you you stick through. One of my more sacrilegious Vocaloid opinions is that, as any good Vocaloid fan, I love the song Magnet, but there is a cover of Magnet, because Magnet is originally a Miku and Luka song. It was Hatsune Miku and Megurin Luka who were the Vocaloids used in the original version of Magnet, which, banger. The song itself, banger. Amazing song. And it's like, it's about forbidden love, and it is kind of truly like, if you existed in a certain era of, like, if you existed anytime in, like, the 2000s, early 2010s, like, fandom era, every single gay ship has an AMV set to Magnet. I can guarantee it. If it is, like, from the 2000s or even early 2010s, I can guarantee you it's got an AMV set to Magnet. Like, it's inevitable. Magnet was, like, the, like, gay AMV song, because one, it's Miku and Luka, who are two female Vocaloids, and it's them singing about their forbidden gay love for each other. It's iconic. How can you not love Magnet? And it was, like, such a, like, iconic, if you might recognize it, like, the image of the two Vocaloids, and they have their, like, butterfly headphones, and they're, like, about to kiss. And they're, like, holding hands, and they're, like, about to kiss. It was, like, super popular at the time to, like, redraw your favorite, whatever your ship of choice was in the Magnet pose. And it was, like, such a thing. It's very nostalgic, and I love the song Magnet. So good. But there is a version, and it's like, you know, the original, it's two women. You know, it's a lesbian anthem. Like, come on, it's Magnet. But my sacrilegious opinion is that I actually probably listen to the cover by Kaito and Gakupo more than I do listen to the original. Which is, Kaito and Gakupo are two male Vocaloids. And thus, I have to apologize for, unfortunately, despite this being a lesbian anthem, I love the Kaito Gakupo version so much, okay? It's really good. And listen, despite all else, I love Toxic Yaoi. I am someone who definitely is a himejoshi, which is someone who likes, listen, everyone probably knows the term fujoshi, which is, well, not everyone. A fujoshi is someone that likes BL. But a himejoshi is someone who likes GL, girls love. It's fun. Well, at least for it's women who like BL and women who like GL. There is also fudanchi and himedanchi. Like that's their own genres. But I'm someone who's both. Okay, fujoshi and himejoshi, because I just love my medias. And unfortunately, in this specific situation, in my heart, toxic yaoi has won. Because I do in fact listen to the Kaito Gakufa cover more than I listen to the original magnet, which I am quite sorry to say. What the heck? This goes into... Oh! It's like, what? I was so confused. I was like, how on earth this go into here, but also... I guess simply does. Anyhow, that's like the end of this page. That's the end of this page. I think we've made good progress on the chest unit. It's also exactly 1 o'clock now, and I have to start heading out. But, as always, thank you to everyone who tuned in. Next week, I shall return to continue on Mr. Barbatos, post-Christmas. But I hope you all, as always, have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Also have a happy holidays, whether you celebrate Christmas or you don't. I hope it's a really nice time. And you get to enjoy your time with whatever you choose to do. As always, Salem, I'm Salem, signing off. And I shall see you all next week. Bye-bye!